In this video, we're going to talk about how to outline a formal argument essay. The purpose of doing an outline is to make sure that your essay is structured properly. It helps ensure that your thesis statement is in the proper place and that all of the other components of the essay are where they need to be, so you wind up with a really nicely organized piece of writing. Additionally, if you do a really thorough outline, it makes writing the actual essay a breeze. So I would say that the outline is probably like the hard part of putting together a formal essay. So let's talk about how to outline an essay. So we actually start by using Roman numerals and letters of the alphabet to kind of organize our essay. Each Roman numeral is going to represent, in this outline, it's going to represent a paragraph. So on my first line here, I'm going to put a Roman numeral 1. And I'm going to go ahead and write the word introduction beside that. You will notice that I'm color coding notes today, so if you see me switching colors, I'll be able to explain why. So that's going to be the introduction. I'm going to indent in, and underneath of that, I'm going to put A, B, and C. And we'll talk about what those are here in just a second. I like to skip a line, and I'm going to do Roman numeral 2, which means this is my second paragraph. And I'm just going to put a T, S, like that. And again, we'll explain that in a minute. This gets an A and a B under it. Roman numeral 3. Same thing, TS with an A and a B. Again, notice that I'm indenting the A and the B there. Roman numeral 4, TS, A, B. Roman numeral 5, same thing. And Roman numeral 6. Roman numeral 6, this is our last paragraph, so we're going to call this conclusion. And it gets an A and a B. Okay, so whenever we are putting together our essay, whenever I look at this outline so far, this blank version, what I can see is this is going to be a 6-paragraph essay. Paragraph 1 is going to be the introduction. 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all identical body paragraphs, so we'll just be plugging in some information there. And then paragraph 6 is going to be our conclusion for this essay. Okay, great. All right, so now let's talk about the contents of our essay here. So I'm going to switch colors. I'm switching to purple right now. We begin at the top, our introduction. So the A, B, and C there under the introduction means that our introduction should contain 3 components. There are 3 things that need to happen in the introduction in the first paragraph of this essay, and this is the order they'll be done in. So the first thing that goes into the essay, which really is the opening for any type of an essay, which is going to be your hook. Your hook is your attention grabber. It's the thing you're going to start off with that is going to really make your audience want to pay attention to whatever it is that you have to say. There are lots of ways to open an essay. For the purpose of this particular essay, making sure that we're sticking with it being a formal essay, I don't want you to use rhetorical questions that can get kind of informal. We're going to use a powerful fact. And when I talk about a powerful fact, I mean a piece of information, a factual piece of information that's going to really grab your reader and make them want to keep on reading your essay. It's going to have to be relevant, of course, to your topic, but something that's really attention grabby that makes them kind of very curious about what it is you're going to talk about. The second part is going to be the connection, or what we've previously called the bridge. And the connection or the bridge is basically going to make a bridge or build a connection between the hook and the thesis statement. So, which of course that's going to be like your claim. So this information that was the hook, we have to explain how that is going to be relevant to whatever it is that we're going to say in the thesis statement. That's where the bridge comes in, or the connection piece. I'm going to switch colors here. And now we move on to C. C, this is going to be the last item in your first paragraph, and that is going to be your thesis statement. So we've talked about how to write a thesis statement before. So it's going to be your position because, and then your reasons, which we know the order for those are going to be 2, comma, 3, comma, and 1. Okay, that's your thesis statement. So your position, your claim, whatever it is that you're arguing about in the paper because of 2, 3, and 1. And I've said this, but I'm going to make another note here just off to the side that this is going to be the last sentence of that first paragraph. Okay, so whenever I do my essay, whenever I am actually filling it out, A is going to be whatever I'm going to use for my hook. B is going to be my whatever I'm going to use for my connection or my bridge. C is going to be my thesis statement. Now I'm ready to move on to paragraph 2. Paragraph 2. These paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 are going to relate back to the thesis statement. 2, 3, and then paragraph 4 will actually wind up being about your best reason, your first best. So whatever order you present your reasons in your thesis statement, the body paragraphs have to match that. That has to mirror, okay? So whatever order you mention something in the thesis statement, the topic sentences and these paragraphs should be done in the same way. So if my thesis statement talks about the second best reason first, that means that paragraph 2 is going to be about the second best reason. TS stands for topic sentence. So we are going to have a topic sentence that introduces the second best reason. Okay, so like second best reason, and then that relates back to that number 2 right there. So we're going to have a sentence to start off that paragraph. It's actually like the first sentence of that paragraph that's going to introduce that second best reason. That's going to go right there. So you can keep it as simple as the first reason, whatever it is that you think, is because, and then your reason, you can state it that way. Or you can have something a little more complex, but that first sentence should introduce your second best reason. A and B are going to be facts. This is your evidence that supports whatever this claim is or whatever this reason is. Your facts that belong to that reason are going to go there under fact 1 and fact 2. It's worth noting that you don't just do fact, it's fact plus explain. So you give a fact and then you explain that fact. You give a second fact, you explain that fact, and that's going to be that paragraph. That's paragraph 2. Paragraph 3 is going to be a topic sentence. This one is going to introduce our third best reason, which is, of course, your weakest. So you can see third best reason and third best reason. And then we have more facts. Fact 3 and fact 4. And then again, plus an explain for each. So you give the fact, you explain its relevance. You give the fact, you explain its relevance. So that's our second best reason. And then our third best reason. Paragraph 4 then is going to be about the best reason. So topic sentence. Introducing. I'm not going to call it first best reason. That would sound silly. So we're just going to call it the best reason. Best reason, best reason. And then I'm sure you can figure out right now what's going to go here. Fact 5, fact 6, plus explanations again. Okay, if we were doing persuasive writing, we would just have to do the conclusion and we would be done. We wouldn't worry about this part right here. We would just move straight to the conclusion. We would be done. However, we are not doing persuasive writing. We're doing argument writing. So because we are doing argument writing, we have to do this fifth paragraph, and the fifth paragraph is going to look a little bit different. That fifth paragraph is going to be what is called the counter argument and the rebuttal. Okay, counter argument and rebuttal. This is where you acknowledge the opponent's view and you acknowledge that the opponent's view is valid, but then you provide information that counters that's going to argue against that. That's going to be called the rebuttal. So the topic sentence, we start with our topic sentence. Some people think that ... And that is going to be the opponent's reason. Or let's say the opponent view because ... And that's going to be one of their reasons. So if I've been writing about the death penalty this whole time, and let's say that my essay, I'm for the death penalty, my Roman numeral 5 would start with some people think that the death penalty should be gotten rid of, which is the opponent's view, because, and I give one of their reasons. They think that. Not only do I acknowledge that, but I actually have to provide one fact that supports that opponent's reason. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of research on a fact that is going to support this reason. So if I say some people think that the death penalty should be abolished because innocent people die on death row, then I'm actually going to look for right here, I'm going to look for a fact that actually supports that and what they said. So you are stepping into the shoes of your opponent for this part. But then in B, you are going to offer a rebuttal. And a rebuttal is going to be a fact that counters this. Which means you're looking for a fact that argues against what they just said. Okay, this is the rebuttal. So again, if I said some people think that the death penalty should be abolished because innocent people are killed on death row, then I have to find a fact that supports that innocent people die on death row. But then I have to find a fact that counters that. So maybe I am able to find information that shows, less than 5% of people who have been executed have been found to be guilty. And then I'm going to explain, therefore it doesn't mean we have to get rid of the whole thing. That would be a fact that counters that. Okay, so you spend this paragraph stepping into the shoes of the opposing view and then countering that view. Okay? Finally, we are left with our conclusion. I'm going to switch back to my color coding. A, you are going to restate, not repeat, restate the thesis statement. Conclusions can be really, really difficult to write. So one trick I have figured out over time is to restate the thesis statement in multiple sentences. So you could break this up into multiple sentences. I'm going to write just like 1 to 4 sentences. If you do a thesis statement restatement in 4 sentences, that's most of your concluding paragraph already done, right? And that is extremely useful to have most of it done for you, so you don't have to try to think of other filler things that are going to fill in that space for you. The final part of our conclusion, which is how we're going to wrap this essay up, is what's going to be called your statement of relevance. The statement of relevance basically answers the question, why does this matter? Basically, as a reader, why should I care about your topic? Why should it be important to me in some way, shape, or form? You will notice that I kept the statement of relevance. If you've been paying attention to the color coding, it's the same color as my hook and my bridge or my connection. That's because I've kind of found that it works really, really well if you can relate your statement of relevance back to the hook. So whatever information you used in the hook of your essay, if you can relate your statement of relevance back to that hook, it kind of brings the whole essay full circle, and it makes it feel really complete, and it makes it feel really well thought out and put together and just kind of well done. All right, so now that we've got this put together, you can see what's going to go into your argument essay outline. So this is how you do the outline. The trick now is going to be building that skeleton of the outline, which is everything in black that you see on this screen. And then you're going to have to do your research, find your information, your thesis statement, all that stuff, and start plugging that information into the outline where it belongs. And then after we have done that bit, then we'll talk about how we use the outline to actually write the essay itself.